Hey everybody, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. So I have another Project Life spread to share with you, but it's a little bit different. It was at the end of week 3, so my husband had just come home from his work trip, and we really wanted to get out of the house and do something as a family, and my son, the teenager, actually suggested going to see tigers or animals in general. So we were like, yes, let's go with that. We're in a season of life where the kids don't always agree on activities. So when they do agree and it's like a unanimous vote, we're like, we're going. So we were going to the zoo, and I love going to zoos. Actually, we all have really loved going to zoos over the years, so it makes sense that the kids suggested this and agreed. But on this particular day, we went to the Sacramento Zoo, and we hadn't been there in a few years, and I wound up taking a ton of photos and decided to use the Ali Edwards Explore Story Kit. I used a little bit of physical and then a bunch of digital pieces. I'm going to have a 4x4 page protector, 3x4 vertical page protector, and also the 6x8, which is what I'm working on right now. I took that speckled black paper and put it up at the top. Then digitally, I took the card that says Exploring Home and I extended it to go all the way across and finished it up with the family photo at the bottom. And I really love how that turned out. It's very simple, but I love it. And I loved using that card, Exploring Home. I could have used the physical journaling card, but like I said, I don't know if it went all the way across, but either way, I have the printed version and it's done. I also took the digital stamp with the speckled heart, and I went ahead and made a few of those to add to the spread. So I'm really going with the teals and the blues and blacks. So it's making for a very fun color scheme, different, but perfect for this wintry zoo visit. And that speckled green heart, I cut it out, and I'm going to make it part of the floating piece from week 3. So I just attached it to the back of the floating piece from week 3, with the vellum and a little everyday story. And I just added a printed digital piece that says currently exploring. So love how that little piece turned out. It turned out so good. Love those speckled hearts too. They're so fun. And since I was going with this unique color scheme that is in the kit, I didn't see any cards that really matched my color scheme, so I made one of my own. I took the speckled black paper and added a strip at the bottom, and then used a large heart. Well, not used, but I took the digital stamp and left it fairly big so it would cover most of the journaling card, and I love it. It turned out fantastic. I did decide to add the physical paper right on top because it has a better color, I guess you could say, and I used the physical paper on the 6x8, so I might as well use it on the 3x4. Printed another chipboard piece that says say yes, and I'm going to go ahead and pop dot that. I was thinking about getting a physical chipboard piece, and that's what I was looking for, but I did not find anything, so I'm just going to stick with this digital piece. And I think I've actually already used the physical piece, so that's good. Now I'm on to using digital pieces, so it works. Added in some foam adhesive so that way it could be lifted up off the heart. I do want to add something else to that, so I went looking in my stash and I found some puffy stickers that are hearts, and the colors don't match exactly, but they're close enough. I think the word would be not matching, but coordinating. So it all goes together in the end, right? And once I have this done, I'm going to gather up the pieces and then work on the back of this 3x4 insert. I'm telling you, I just love going to zoos and taking all the photos and reading all the information about the animals, and I just love it. The kids love it too, but probably me the most. I love it. So I did grab a physical card that says a little story, and I also printed 2 more speckled hearts. They're kind of at the top of the screen right now, but I am going to go ahead and cut those out and add those to the bottom of the physical card. And I thought about you saw me thinking about putting a puffy sticker on the 6x8 family page, but in the end, I decided not to. Because like I said, it coordinates, but it doesn't fully match. I don't know. I should have put a heart, but whatever. I am moving on to this physical card, and I cut out the printed hearts and then just added just a little bit of the hearts down at the bottom. So that way it has the theme of the speckled hearts throughout both spreads. Because I suppose this is technically 2 total spreads to cover all the pictures of the zoo. And I could have done like a collage, but I loved this trip. It was such a fun trip. And like I said in the beginning, for both kids to agree on what we're doing for our family day is just unheard of. We are really in that season of life where it's like parks don't work, kid museums don't work. So what works? And this did. And that's what I start talking about in my little story. I actually open with agreeing on our family day activity is the best, and I underlined it, and I said it's not always easy. I then said that we agreed to go to the zoo, and we had a fantastic time and seeing all the animals. It really is fun to go in the wintertime at zoos because a lot of the animals are out and they're not like overheated. Which can happen in the summertime. And then animals that need to be in the heat, like the meerkats, they were actually on a solar heating panel, and it was hilarious. That's actually a photo in the 2x2 pocket on the far left. So that was really cute to see a pile of meerkats just trying to warm up. Very cute. And then there was one meerkat that was kind of the sentry guard peeking up, and I loved that. I had so much to say about the other animals and other little stories about the day that I decided to go ahead and use this physical insert. I believe it's 3x8 maybe, but when I went to check where the holes would be placed, it would punch right on the numbers. And I really didn't want that. So I got a long sticker label tag, whatever, from my stash, and I figured out where the 3rd and 4th holes are and then punched it, and then I backed it with some cardstock to make it a little bit stronger. It kind of looks maybe a little weird once it's in the album, but like I said, I did not want to punch directly onto the insert. And then I'll add some double-sided tape, and I'll attach the journaling card once I'm done with all my stories. And then I'll just have like a floating piece. And I suppose on the back I could add a full photo, but I haven't decided what photo and if I even have any photos left because I included so many in this spread. So now I'm going to write out all the little stories I have for our trip. So the first one I talked about was the lioness that was there. I covered her up with the label, but she's actually one of the oldest lionesses in the country. She's 18 years old and her name is Cleo. She outlived her mate and she is currently dealing with some medical issues. So it's really cool to see like a powerful lioness, and she was just hanging out in the corner. The next one I said is that because Sacramento is a popular migratory route for a lot of wild birds, they had to move the flamingos indoors so that way the flamingos didn't catch any of the wild birds like germs like avian flu, which I found totally fascinating and not something I would have thought about if I hadn't like read the signs, because I was wondering, why are the flamingos indoors? Like, it didn't make any sense. But once I read that, totally made sense. So for the third story, I talked about how my husband and I first came here when we were dating. I think we'd only been dating for 3 months, and we got a picture by the bamboo wall. And now every time we go, I make sure to take a picture by the bamboo wall. And I included our photo from today over on the 4x4 section. I then included on story 4 a list of the funniest moments, like seeing a red panda use a litter box. I'm not kidding you. Yes, a litter box. And then I'm not going to say this animal's name right, but the Kookaburra, I don't know. My daughter said, "Oh my gosh, that animal looks like a giant hamster." And I guess it does because it is the largest rodent. And then the otters were running around and putting on a show for us, and it was just so fun. And then the other cool thing about the zoo right now is that they have these animatronic dinosaurs, and they're very realistic with the moving and the noises. And my favorite was having my husband stand by the Brontosaurus and getting a picture, like a scale picture. It almost reminded me of like a scientific book where you have like the shadow man next to a dinosaur and it has that scale reference. I don't know. That's what it reminded me of, friends. Okay, I peeled the double-sided tape and added the insert, and now I'm going to put everything back in the pockets so that way I can flip through and show you guys what everything looks like. But I am loving this Project Life format. It is so much fun to use the 6x8, use my pockets, and again, think kind of outside the box as far as how I'm going to put my spreads together. So I think for next week, it's going to be like week 4. It's just going to be a collage of photos, and I'm excited to bring that together. So as you can see, I've got all the pages put back together, and I made a fantastic insert for our family zoo trip. All right, so this is all wrapped up. I have this really big insert right here, and then of course the pocket page. Let's go back to the beginning and see where I'm at right now. For January, I have the cover, our family photo, some jobs that we do, and then a page talking about me as the documenter, starting the year, and this big flip up. Then you have week 1, week 2, and then the zoo insert. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I would love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you are new to my channel. Have a great day. Bye.